we have got to talk about the news. We've got to talk about the tariffs. We've got to talk about their effect on the market, as well as what happened to CleanSpark today, even though they had great earnings. It's kind of a jam-packed afternoon episode here. So let's get right into this. So this is on Financial Juice on X. They do updates all day long for different things. Today was pretty much dominated by the Prime Minister of Japan's visit to the White House, and you can see here right before that occurred, we got tariffs on Japan are an option, and we started seeing huge red bars in the market here. Right around then, let's go to like 5-minute candles for the day. And I have this on volume candles. Go to regular candles. Zoom it on out. Okay. One was 5 hours ago. It was like 9 a.m. or something. Anyways, yeah, big red bars, right? Not 10. It's 10. Here we go. About 8 a.m. 9 a.m. We started off the day. 7 a.m. we got a huge dip. 8 a.m. we got another huge dip. Got a decent dip at 9, another one at 10, and throughout the day it's just big dips while the market tries to recover from it. But basically, we were getting these basically every time any news about tariffs were coming out, as if we hadn't heard it all already about that. The market just keeps dumping off of these tariffs. Get rid of some of these drawings. Okay. That's the SPY, by the way. So Japan, tariffs are on the table right before they have their meeting. And then also right after that, I will announce reciprocal tariffs next week on many countries, which is also adding to that fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the market and causing all of our portfolios to absolutely dump. Also, auto tariffs always on the table. Just tariffs, and we dump every time, every single time. We'll be talking to Putin. We'll be talking to Xi. We'll be talking. There's something about Ukraine in here as well, but I don't think that one was negative. Is considering allowing Japan's Nippon Steel to buy U.S. steel. There's some other stuff in here. Let me see here. That's all Zelensky. I mean, there's so much that happened today. It's ridiculous. A lot of bad stuff with tariffs, or not necessarily bad stuff, but bad for the today's market. Tariffs. We really need to wait until all of these meetings with heads of state are done, until tariffs are a thing of the past. Either they're happening or they're not. Once we get that clarity, we'll stop seeing these massive random sell-offs, which are really hard to like deal with, especially if you're doing day trading, because everything can be looking like it's going to go one way, and then a news article comes out and it flies the other way just instantly. Like for example, right in here, probably looked decently bullish, and you would have been waiting for it to cross this red line right there, which is the 200 EMA, and it was building up with a flat top descending triangle there, and a tweet likely came out right here that just tanked that whole thing and sent it to the basement. And just absolutely ruined any trade you had. So day trading is really hard right now, largely due to the news cycle being instantaneous, and it being just on the whim of tweets, basically. So yeah, or like this structure right here that looked pretty ascending triangle, looking decently bullish, but broke to the downside off of more news of tariffs. So until this is cleared up, it's going to be a challenge to navigate the market. Things can look one way and instantly turn the other. And I mean, it can always do that, but it's going to be much more exaggerated right now. So if you're doing day trading and you're being successful, congratulations to you. It's a very difficult thing to be navigating right now, with how the news cycle is working right now, with how a lot of the meetings with heads of state haven't really come through yet. I mean, because we're only in what, week 3 or something? What are we in, week 3, week 4? It's not very many. He hasn't been president very long, but things have been lots of turmoil, lots of volatility back and forth, and it's honestly unpredictable because you don't know when he's going to say something. And the moment he says something, the market absolutely tanks or it flies, depending on that news. Lately, it's been mostly tanking, so it's hard to like really confidently take any positions at the moment. Additionally, this is the name exposure. I found a better chart for it. The other one wasn't getting updated properly. But you can see we're back to 84 here for the day. I imagine next week we'll be back down to 68. But you can see we got lots of room to the upside on this chart here specifically. Not too concerned about that. I think we have room to the upside. As soon as some of this uncertainty is fleshed out and isn't a concern anymore, we'll be seeing these things confidently charge up into like the high 600, the mid 600s or so. All right, let's talk about CleanSpark. Yes, it ended the day plus 9%, but that is a disgustingly ugly candle. And look at this dotted line right here, or this dashed line right here. Look at where it ends. Well, one, it just went just ever so slightly above this peak here that sold off. Basically, anyone that has a cost basis around $12 to $13 is all taking profit. And until or breaking, it's not taking profit, excuse me. They're breaking even. All those people are breaking even. We have to work through this. So we're going to have another downtrend before we get out. As long as we make another higher low, that's how we know we're okay. If we make a lower low, so basically lower than 958, CleanSpark is going to have a really bad time. So now, yes, we were up 9% at the end of the day, but that's still a red candle. We were up 20-ish% at one point. And we really need to get above this right now. We really need to see Bitcoin recover above $100,000. Even though CleanSpark is producing 600 some odd Bitcoin every single month at a cost to themselves of about $34,000 for an asset trading around 90 some odd $1,000, it is still not getting any benefit for that. So I mean, they're basically getting a 300% return on every single Bitcoin that they mine, but they're not getting any benefit for that at this time. And honestly, we're going to have a really, really challenging time getting above 1259 right now. And once we do get above 1259, then we can charge up to 15. But again, 15 is where we hit this section here that we got chopped around in last year, and that's where we're really going to struggle. If price cannot cut through 15 all the way up to 18 and higher than 18, and make support out of 18, if it cannot do that quickly, we are going to get trapped again in between $15 to $18 for the majority of the year again on CleanSpark. CleanSpark really needs to decisively chop through $15 to $18 and make 18 into make 18 into support. If it cannot successfully make 18 into support sometime maybe after the summer run or so, somewhere around the summer run like July, if it comes crashing back down through $18, we're going to have a really, really bad time on CleanSpark. All right, so let's take a look at these here. Okay, so I got the indicators on. There we go, great. Okay, so indicators aren't looking great. Stochastics and the BX trender look okay today, but that's got to hold. We are red on the moving averages there. You can see that moving average is red there. We're below the 100. We're just barely above the 50-day moving average, which is nice. We got to hold above that. If we hold above the 50-day moving average, we've got a shot. We've got a chance. But remember, the 200-day moving average is looming up at 1332. So that's going to be a really rough area to get above, because we're going to have to fight to 15. And then when we get to 15, we're going to have to fight to get to 18. And then when we get to 18 and we cross 18 and we're finally breathing fresh air above 18, that's when we're finally going to see some actual good price action out of CleanSpark. Until then, it's going to be kind of a slog. All right, so in light of what happened today, with the fact that CleanSpark had amazing earnings, opened up like 20% up, and then proceeded to give, the majority of that back, the next closest earnings date, I believe, is IREN. That's going to be next Wednesday in, I believe, after hours. At least that's what it says here. It doesn't say when. But Wednesday, February 12th, according to TradingView. Now, if that's wrong, please correct me, because I do want to know when their earnings day is. But according to TradingView, their earnings day is February 12th, which is Wednesday next week. Personally, my plan with this is, if this gives me a 15 to 20% boost at open, which, I mean, I'm just going to take current price as my measurement for that, right? Current price is my measurement. If I were to get like a 20% boost, we could be seeing this touching, $15. If this is opening up around $15 and shows any sign of selling off whatsoever, I think I'll be taking my profit on IREN for the time being and waiting until we start seeing some more positive moves in later June, maybe July time period for IREN, because currently I'm already up 78% on my IREN shares. And if we go up to $15, I'm well over 100% up on my IREN shares. And I think at that point, if that day shows weakness after the earnings, especially if they're good, I'm pretty sure they're going to be good, but it shows weakness there around $15 and it starts to sell off, I think I'm just going to take my profit and wait, because it is getting a little difficult to navigate things. Waters are very murky in the market lately, and it's just a significant challenge to really do anything right now. We have to wait for times to become clearer. We need to wait for expectations to truly be set, because right now, especially with all the tariff talks, every single day it's like, do we know what's going to happen? Who's it going to happen to? How much is it going to be? Are they going to actually narrowly avoid this? Like, it's just constant FUD, and it's really frustrating to deal with. I mean, you can always just put your head down and wait and hope, but we are in the last year of the Bitcoin cycle. Okay, the very last year. It's either going to happen soon or it's not going to happen at all. So that's kind of where I'm at on that right now. So I have my CleanSpark shares. My CleanSpark warrants. Holding on to those for now. I am selling BitDigital on every green day. Every green day I'm selling some BitDigital. I might buy some. I've been slowly accumulating some Ethereum assets, some Ethereum related assets, because I do want exposure to Ethereum, but I don't think BitDigital is the most effective exposure to that any longer. So every green day I'm letting go of a little bit more BitDigital, because honestly this is just horribly disappointing. This down move on it, and it's sustained hold beneath there. Now at some point it probably will explode upward, but they're getting small AI businesses are getting hammered. Okay, they've shifted away from Bitcoin, which wasn't really giving them a whole lot of benefit anyways, and isn't giving a lot of the companies that are heavily exposed to Bitcoin a lot of benefit right now anyways. And they're not getting any benefit from their Ethereum any longer right now. So BitDigital is looking less and less attractive every single day, to be honest. So every single day that it is green, every time it's green, like this morning it was green a little bit, and we're under the 200-day moving average, which is an ugly, terrible place to be. And we really haven't been trading under that except for in the bear market. So basically anytime it's green, I'm letting go of some BitDigital. At some point I will run out of it. I don't really care if I sell out of it. I'm still positive 50% on my BitDigital. So every green day, selling a little bit more. That may be at some point the wrong decision, but I'm going to roll a decent amount of that profit into Ethereum, largely because, as you know, I did the, if you look at Trump's actual crypto holdings, at least the publicly listed ones, there's a lot of Ethereum in there and not nearly as much Bitcoin in there. So I'm thinking Ethereum is a great addition at this time for that, personally. And of course, nothing I say is financial advice or a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever. Let's see here. Is there anything else of interest going on? AMD is getting absolutely hammered. Advanced Money Destroyer getting absolutely hammered. A lot of the chip stocks are getting absolutely decimated right now. They're having okay earnings, but not great guidance often, and that is leading to dumps. But as I mentioned before, and many times, as long as this cloud here is red, the entry you're early on the move. You're early on it, and being early is risky. Being early means you can lose money. As always, you gotta wait for confirmation to really feel like it's gonna happen, and even then, like we got it back here, right? We got confirmation right there, and it went up just a little bit and then tanked. So that could happen to you too. You always have to have a stop loss in mind. So same thing like Soxel. I brought that to the channel last week as a potential 100% runner, and immediately after that, of course, we got hit with 25% tariffs, and then Monday was a huge shocker for that, and we had a 23% down day on that. But I remember, and if you remember, I did say that it was early. I did say that it was not confirmed until this red cloud here turned green, and it never turned green, so it was never actually confirmed, meaning you would have been early, as I was early. I went in a little bit early, and now we're kind of just getting stuck in this zone here. Do I think this will recover and come back? Yes. I think semiconductors, the semiconductor space is the most important sector of our economy right now, and it will eventually rebound off of these lows that it's been finding itself in right now. But it's going to be a little volatile until some of that clarity is seen. And honestly, I really want to see that turn blue. Blue green. See that turn green. I might even wait for, like on a 2-hour chart for it to turn green, and then because even if you saw that, right, you went from 29 all the way up to 36 on the 2-hour before it collapsed, and then back here once it turned green, it went from 29 all the way up to 33, which isn't like a lot, but on options that's a lot. On few hundred shares, that's a decent amount. So I'll probably be watching the 2-hour for that green confirmation go in, and then if I see any gap down afterwards, I'll probably let it go, and then wait for it to reset again. If it's gonna fail one more time or not, I don't know. Right now we're making higher lows, but we had a lower high last time, so it's all over the place. It's all over the place. Like I said, it's so murky. Everything is so murky right now. It's so hard to make a call on anything right now, because you could say this looks like a bear flag, but if that looks like a bear flag, where's the bottom of it? Like honestly, if this right here on Soxel looks like a bear flag, and we come down, and of course if we break $23, we're gonna come all the way down to like $16. So yeah, that sucks. I don't want to do that. And if this comes down to 23.53 and goes anywhere underneath 23.53, I'm gonna cut my entire position of Soxel. That's my stop loss. That's why it's red. That's my stop loss. I'm gonna jump out of that entirely and just take whatever loss I have. And that also would apply to AMD. Under 104, under $104, I'm just taking my loss, and I'll wait for it to reset and see what happens on AMD, because I am in AMD as well. And like I said, whenever this cloud is red, you're early, and being early is risky. Being early can lead to losing money. Currently, I am in the red on my AMD position by a few $1,000s, and if it goes to $104, I'll be in the red a few thousand more dollars. But I will take my loss, because I don't want to sit there and hold it as it drops all the way back down to as low as potentially $90 before turning around again. So that was my idea when I went in. I said if it comes all the way down to here without seeing any upside, well, then I'm going to let it go, and I'm just going to take that loss, and I'm going to wait for it to reset, and then I'm going to re-enter at that time. Okay, so that's basically all I really wanted to talk about this afternoon. CleanSpark's performance was good, but underwhelming considering the fantastic earnings that they reported. That was likely due to the news cycle and the tariffs that have been absolutely destroying any up moves in the market. Any up move that comes through in the market has just been absolutely getting slapped down by all this tariff nonsense. Hopefully at some point this year that ends up being positive catalysts as we get a lot of the murkiness shaken out of the market. But right now it's really a challenging space to just exist within, and trying to be profitable, and it's very difficult right now. So like if you're not doing super well, or your portfolio isn't looking great, you're not alone. It is a very challenging time right now. So we're kind of just waiting, digging through it, unless you're in Palantir. In which case you're having a great time. I have a lot of Palantir, so Palantir has been single-handedly holding up my entire portfolio for weeks now. as everything else falls, Palantir has been holding up my entire account. So thank you, Palantir. Keep doing the good work. I will say though, this looks like a top candle that just came in. This right here, this is a very ugly toppy candle. That long wick on top. What percent is that? What percent is that? We got to look at that. That's a very ugly toppy candle. I'm not sad about that, actually. 4%. Okay, that's kind of a lot for Palantir. Yeah, that's a toppy candle. It could come like just right over here on let's turn this off. On December 24th, we had the exact same type of candle. Inverted hammer at the top of the move. And what happened? We dropped from 82 all the way down to 60 something, all the way down to 64. And then we had another similar candle here. That's a gravestone doji on January 24th. And we dropped from 80 all the way down to 72. So we might see a dip down, maybe halfway down this big candle here, maybe to like 105, maybe even back down to $100 off of this toppy candle right here. So I'd actually welcome that, because I do have covered calls, and I would like to close those for a profit and then open up some more. I'm not selling any of my shares of Palantir. I don't plan on it unless we break like 95. If we break 95, I might sell them and try to rebuy in the mid 70s, because support's around 72. But if we don't do that, I'm going to just hold my shares. I'm just going to hold my shares of Palantir because Palantir is a rocket and is doing very well. Anyways, that's all I've got for you today. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Check out the Trade Cave store, link in the description, as well as the channel bio, and have a profitable day.